Monday, June 6th, I turned 20 years old. I am not a teen anymore, and honestly, I feel really ready for it. Ever since I was 15 years old and I had like 400 YouTube subscribers, I have made a video every year around the time of my birthday expressing to you guys some of the most important things that I have learned in the past year. I've learned a lot specifically about how to be in touch with myself and how to be in touch with how I am feeling and how to then take those feelings and express them to other people. So with that being said, I give to you 20 tips for 20 years. Tip number 1. You are allowed to like qualities within people that you don't like. Every time we decide that we dislike someone, everything they do becomes proof of just further reasons that we don't like them. Somebody you don't like could literally eat a snack and you'd be like, what the f are you doing? You can decide that somebody is better off not being in your life and still acknowledge things about them that you enjoy. Tip number 2. Going off of tip number 1, you can be nice to people that you don't really like, and it is different than being two-faced. You can feel the difference because it feels super different. Being genuinely nice to someone you don't want to spend a lot of time with is different than being nice to someone and then talking shit about them behind their back. Tip number 3. Trust your instincts. Your subconscious is taking in so much more information than your conscious brain could possibly hold. So if you get a weird feeling about something, that's not just vibes or like the mojo in the air. That's your subconscious actually doing very smart, very mathematical calculations about everything you've ever experienced. And your subconscious has decided that this gives you a weird feeling and you probably shouldn't fuck with it. And your intuition knows what you want on an even deeper level than you know what you want. So like, why are we fighting them? They're great. They're looking out for you. Tip number 4. You are allowed to not only meet, but exceed people's expectations of you. You don't have to hold yourself to an identical standard of the people that you're surrounded by. You can hold yourself to your own private standard and make sure that you meet and exceed that. It's a classic thing of, you could say, well, my friend got a C on that test, or my other friend is doing a bunch of drugs in the bathroom, so it's totally fine if I do both of those things because my friends are doing them, so it's normal. But maybe you're a little bit better at math than your friend who's getting a C, and your friend who's getting a C has skills in other departments, but this is something you're really good at. You should be holding yourself to a higher standard. Tip number 5. I learned way more from having acne than not having acne. Tip number 6. A big goal of mine for the last year, being in a creative field, was to take all of the things throughout my life that had made me uncomfortable or had just otherwise affected me really negatively and create something really, really special and really cool out of them. And to me, that's making a video or it's writing a script. But what I've realized throughout this process is it goes so much more beyond just creative expression. And what you really can do with your pain, you can take that and you can use it not only to inspire you creatively, but to inspire you to be kinder and to be the person that you needed when you were younger. Tip number 7. Sometimes the best thing to do is take your hands off the wheel and see what happens. Not everything necessarily needs to be figured out right away, right now. You need an answer. It's a yes or a no. Not everything is black and white. And sometimes you just need a second to like let life come in and figure stuff out for you. Tip number 8. Hold hands in public. 1, because you deserve to and you are allowed to. And 2, because you never know who is going to see it that really needs to see it. And maybe by you doing this like one small action, you can inspire somebody else to come into their own and feel more comfortable with who they love. I don't know what kind of environment you're in, so obviously I can't speak to like people who are in unsafe situations. Oh my god. Whew. I've spent time in my life walking past like mirrors or windows where I was holding a girl's hand, and sometimes I would think really, really mean things about myself. Just from, they're just built into your brain sometimes. You're judging yourself for your own happiness and you don't deserve to. Oh my god, no one deserves to. So just hold hands when you want to hold hands. And if you don't want to hold hands, you don't have to hold hands. But if you want to, you should. Whoa, I can't believe I'm literally crying. Okay, just give me just a quick second. Tip number 9. Honestly, still recovering. Makeup is less cool than I thought it was. Tip number 10. Don't ask for people's opinions if you don't want to hear what they think, because they're gonna tell you what they think. And if you didn't want to hear it, why did you ask? Don't look at things that you don't want to see. If you shouldn't look at somebody's social media account, then don't look. Tip number 11. You are doing other people a disservice by going places you do not want to be. It is significantly more rude to go somewhere you don't want to be with a bad attitude than to not go at all. Tip number 12. Being fake nice is mean. Saying you think something is good when you don't actually think it's good is not nice, it's mean. It's cowardly is what it is. You're protecting yourself, you're making sure that everybody else likes you under the guise of acting polite. And it's not polite, it's rude. Tip number 13. Try and rinse off your dishes as soon as you use them, because once it gets like crusted on there, it's gonna be way harder to get off and it's gonna take more energy. I'm not good at doing this, but we all should. Tip number 14. You do not have to think someone is perfect in order for you to love them unconditionally. You don't have to never argue with someone or never disagree with them in order to be like, we are BFFs, I love you. Tip number 15. If you don't tell people that you are uncomfortable or angry or sad, they may not know. And then they can't fix it. And you're putting them in a situation where your rage or emotion is just building and building, building. They have no idea that they are about to set off a freaking time bomb. I think that's how a lot of bad fights actually happen, is for one person, something's been building for a long time, and for another person, it's coming out of nowhere. Then you are not on the same page. Tip number 16. It is not your responsibility to keep track of how you are being perceived by others. And obviously this is different for if you're, saying things that make someone uncomfortable. You should clock into that. Say what you're thinking without the goal being to have the person you're talking to perceive you in a certain way or think of you in a certain light. Dropping the idea of how I want everybody else to think of me and just being who I am has been so freeing and saved me so much mental energy. Tip number 17. It's impossible to control what people think about you, so why are you trying? Tip number 18. Remember people's pronouns, because it isn't that hard to remember and it is important. Tip number 19. Double the kisses, double the hugs. Whoever you're kissing, whoever you're hugging, double it. Especially if you love them. Triple it. Tip number 20. This has been a huge New Year's resolution of mine, and this journey within my own brain has been a huge part of this year. Do not apologize for existing. There are so many ways I would say it especially skews towards women, but I'm sure people of every kind and nature have experienced this. We are conditioned to be really, really sorry that we are alive. We are supposed to be sorry when we're speaking up about things we don't like, whether it's an order at a restaurant, like not getting a side of dressing, or whether it's in a meeting and it's something super important. We're supposed to be sorry we're talking. And I, over the last few months to a year, have realized that I am actually not sorry. I'm not sorry when I speak, because when I speak, I add value that wasn't there to the conversation. And guess what? It's not just me. It's the same for you, because it's the same for everybody. We all have thoughts that nobody else has, and when we express them out loud to other people, that's very valuable. And I really believe that the conditioning inside my own brain starts with small apologies. Apologize when you are apologetic, and when you are not apologetic, do not apologize. Replace apologizing with gratitude. Instead of saying, oh my god, I'm so sorry, I don't like this, say, thank you so much for accommodating me. I saw Hillary Clinton speak at the Teen Vogue Summit a little while ago, and she said something I thought was great, and I'm going to paraphrase it for you. We've all been in a situation where we will express an idea to the group, maybe it's a group project, maybe you're in a meeting, and no one really hears your idea. 10 minutes later, John says the exact same idea, and everybody loves it. They're like, that's the best idea ever, John, you are so freaking cool. And it is now your responsibility to say, I am so glad that John agrees with my idea. You're not being a bitch, you're not doing anything wrong, you're taking credit that is yours. I'm not sorry I'm here, and I'm even less sorry I have something to say. Please let me know one special thing that you have learned this year by leaving a comment. I am definitely gonna be stalking all of these. I really appreciate you. Have a great day. Zall good.
Get me off the list, get me off the list, get me off the list. I've got nothing on my wrist. Get me off the list, get me off the list, get me off the list.